If you've been thinking about becoming a real estate agent, or you're quietly telling yourself that this might finally be the year you try something new, let's start with one of the most important things you'll need to understand early on: agency relationships. Most people hear that phrase and assume it's complicated, but it's really just about who represents who in a real estate deal, and what responsibilities come with that role. Today, we're breaking it down in a way that finally clicks, even if you're starting from the very beginning. This is one of those topics that becomes easier the moment someone explains it clearly. And that clarity matters, because as an agent, your job is to understand your role in a deal, communicate it honestly, and build trust with the people you work with. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through what agency means, the three main types of representation you'll see in real estate, real examples of how these conversations sound, and why learning this early makes everything else in real estate feel a lot more approachable. Agency is a defined relationship where an agent is allowed to represent a client in a property transaction. The client is the person being represented, and the agent is the person doing the representing. It's really that straightforward. You'll also hear about something called fiduciary duty. Let's translate that into plain language too. It means you are expected to be honest with your client, loyal to them, and protective of their interests in the transaction. Think of it like this: when someone trusts you to represent them, you guide them clearly, answer them honestly, and keep their goals at the center of the process. Every real estate deal involves agency, because someone is buying, someone is selling, and the responsibilities shift based on who the agent represents. There are three common agency relationships you'll encounter. A seller's agent represents the person selling the home. Their job is to help the seller market the property, review offers, and negotiate terms that support the seller's goals. A buyer's agent represents the person buying the home. Their job is to help the buyer tour homes, understand property value, ask the right questions, and negotiate in a way that protects the buyer's interests. A dual agent represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. This is allowed in some states, but the key thing is neutrality. They guide the process fairly, share information clearly, but don't negotiate in favor of one side. And if you want a memory trick that actually works, it's this: seller's agents advocate for the seller, buyer's agents advocate for the buyer, and dual agents guide for both with honesty and balance. Now let's make it practical. Here are real-world scenarios you'll actually face. A seller says, "I want at least $350,000 for this home, and I don't want to cover repairs unless I absolutely have to." If you represent them, you help them negotiate toward that outcome while advising them honestly. Now imagine a buyer saying, "I love this house, but I don't want to overpay, and the roof makes me nervous." If you represent them, you research comparable homes, guide them through smart questions, and negotiate terms that protect them. And in a dual agency conversation, it would sound like, "I can guide this deal forward, but I'll stay fair to both sides." Dual agency only works if both parties agree, so transparency and fairness are the strengths you bring to that role. When you understand these roles clearly, you don't just sound more confident, you are more confident. And that confidence is what lets you step into a new career feeling capable, informed, and ready to grow into the role. One thing that makes learning agency easier today is having access to education that actually meets you where you are. That's where RealEstateU helps so many aspiring agents. Their lessons let you learn step by step, revisit topics until they stick, and grow your confidence at a pace that fits your real life, especially if you're starting fresh or balancing a lot while exploring a new career path. If this helped you understand agency a little more clearly, hit like and subscribe if you want more topics broken down simply and honestly. And if you're wondering what to learn next, leave it in the comments. Real estate is a business you grow into by learning the fundamentals early and showing up honestly for the people who trust you. And whenever you want beginner-friendly real estate education built for real beginners, you can explore more at RealEstateU.com.